This is the 11th episode of Gabe's Galaxy. Thank you for joining. But I just wanted to make this video to just let anybody who is, going through gang stalking or has been through gang stalking that I don't think you're crazy. It is real and I'm not crazy. Like this video if that has happened to any one of y'all, because I know it for surely happened to me. I'm in the BART station. This lady comes walking up with her kids. She has a stroller and a little boy and a girl in her hand. She shows me her phone. She shows me her phone. You know who's in her phone? Me. I see a fucking video of me looking at the phone while, it's all surreal. And she shows it to me like she's trying to get me scared. She shows me like, oh, we're recording you. And it gets even worse. Now that I'm reading all this on Google, it's all coming back to me. So thank y'all for bearing with me. We're going to continue this. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see. And as y'all know, oh shit. Okay. Apparently gang stalking is a crime. I did not know that, but it's a misdemeanor. Okay. Let's see. Gang stalking is when a person is stalked, so he or she, after he or she is pursued obsessively by another person to the point the victim no longer feels safe or suffers emotional distress. Now, we're going to get into that part. They will stalk you so obsessively. They stalked me so obsessively to the point I didn't feel safe in my own house. Now, mind you, I wasn't living in a place that was safe to begin with. As y'all know, I lived in a trap house. But imagine living in a trap house and then having to deal with gang stalkers trying to scare the shit out of you. At the same time, the police are scaring the shit out of you. And people trying to rob you are scaring the shit out of you. And yeah, it's fucking scary. Oh, you're scared. Yeah, I'm fucking scared. I was scared. Shit, so what? Anyways, so, they literally, they will go after, if you're like a big victim, your family members will get involved in this type of stalking, and that's the unfortunate part, Okay, so I'm going to just be talking about different flashes I'm getting in my memory from the experience. So, I remember when I was on the BART train, and this was almost getting to the climax of the gang stalking. This was almost getting to the climax. So I'm on the BART train, and mind you, the police are already in on it. I'm sure some innocent lady called the police like, oh my God, they're fucking with this kid and blah, 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 and they're in on it, I'm hearing what sounds like a gun being cocked back on the BART station. And I hear over the intercom that, oh no, it's, they're knocking knocking metal against the BART seat to make it sound like that. They're doing all these things. They're making sounds to make me, it's like they use certain sounds and colors and things. I don't know what the word is. I think it's desensitized or something. I may be wrong, but when you see these certain colors or you hear the metal hitting against the seat, you associate it with somebody cocking a gun, or you see a bunch of people in a certain color, it's okay. this is like fucking weird. You know, people have showed up to where I live, you know, like it's weird. And one of the weirdest things, and I think I just talked about this technology earlier, is the V2K, the voice to skull. Now I realize that it wasn't all just the drugs. Like these people are like beaming a voice in your head. Read my own thoughts. Okay, this voice would read my own thoughts. And it would respond to my thoughts. It's so weird. It would respond to my thoughts. Like I would blink and then I would hear a voice in my head go, his eyes just closed, open, closed, open. And that shit scared the shit. Like I ain't gonna lie, I thought like, damn, this is messed up. I'm just crazy now. This is never gonna go away. You know, like that's what I was thinking at the time, you know, like almost like 4 years ago when this happened. But it literally, like I'm like taking a piss and they're describing my penis to me. I mean, this is crazy. And I mean, I don't know like what type of advanced technology these people have nowadays, but you know, after like watching a lot of these videos, I felt compelled to like to create this video to put it out there to y'all, you know, to let y'all know like, hey, like this is real, you know, like not everybody who says they've been gang stalked is crazy. I know I certainly ain't, you know. So let's continue. I mean, and it's hard for people who have, I mean, when I was getting gang stalked and I tried to tell my mom about it, I tried to tell my mom, like, were you in on it? I kept on asking her, like, I seen you at the hospital. I heard them talking about you and they like, are you in on it? She's like, no. And it's just like, it's crazy because I know I'm not crazy. Some of us are very aware and very woke to what is going on in the world nowadays. You know, so I'm just like, damn, she doesn't want to tell me whatever. Like years later, I found out what it was, you know? And so, it's just like, and I feel like they got a lot of the people in the house I lived with in on it, you know, because like, I don't want to go like too much into detail, but like certain people in the house, it was just weird. Like they would read my text messages out loud to me from the next room. Like they had my phone hacked or something. And I mean, I had to move, honestly. Like, I had to just go away. I mean, not even just for that reason, you know, like just to get clean off drugs and turn my life around. Like, I had to really move. But this gang stalking shit, though, like, especially when I found out the word for it, though, like, I was just like, and then I talked to I found out about this a couple years ago when I was in treatment. And me and all my friends were just like, oh my God, like it happened to me too. And he's like, oh man, they did it to me too. And we're just like, whoa, you just really like what? The same thing? Oh, it's crazy, right? So I'm just like, whoa, this cannot just be a coincidence, right? Like, I mean, there are not just coincidences like this. It's not a coincidence that you're watching this video and this popped up and you're just like, oh my God, everything he's saying is like, you know, I relate. And that's why I made this video, because I relate. And when I seen like everything, I was like, I gotta get this out, you know. But anyway, so back to this. It's like, look, really it's just like advanced bullying, you know. It's fucked up, honestly. And you know, these people will try to like turn people against you. You know, they do this thing where like they'll go around to people in the community and they'll tell them a bunch of bad things about you. And they did this to me. You know, like, unfortunately, your boy was struggling from a heavy ass addiction at the time, and they would go around to people at the train station like, oh no, he's a thief, he's a drug addict, he's a meth head. And I remember one time this lady tried to defend me. You know, oh my God, who the fuck is calling me? And I know one time this lady tried to defend me. I remember it. I was up on the BART station. She seen this kid like telling people, like he was going around telling people like, oh, he's a thief, he's a drug addict, he's a this. And you know what the lady said? The lady was like, so what? Does that mean you gotta mess with him? Does that mean you gotta like, you know, and it's crazy. I remember that because she had my back, but unfortunately it was too many people for her to make a difference. You know, it's like 20 against 1, 30 against 1. I mean, probably even more, you know? So it's just like, you know, this situation caused me a lot of distress at the time, you know? People are microwaving beams at each other's. People are, you know, using all type of like just bad technology, you know. And I am strong enough to talk about this, and I just want to get it out as much as I can, because, you know, it was bad. You know, okay, let's just reverse a little bit. So remember I was talking about the climax of the gang stalking, right? So let's go there. So I ride from the Concord BART station. I don't know where I was going, but I'm on like the train, just like feeling like I'm in prison. I just cannot escape. I'm hearing all type of things through the BART voice intercom. You know, for some reason, like somebody was speaking through the intercom so everybody could hear it. And then I remember this guy was like recording me, like freaking out, laughing his ass off. You know, like they think it's a game. They think it's a joke. Like, you know, having a heart attack is a real thing. And when you're under that much stress, there have been cases where people have had heart attacks off being gang stalked. You know, let that sink in for a little bit. But anyway, so I ride from the train from Concord. I think I had ended up in Lafayette, right? I ended up in oh shit, I gotta charge my... Yeah, so we're just gonna quickly roll into their tactics, the tactics they used on me, and the tactics they use on other individuals in general. So a lot of what I seen them doing, and this is crazy that Google brought this up as like the first thing. The gang performs the same activities as the victim. Now, mind you, y'all know like I dance and shit. So, you know, sometimes I just be in the streets dancing and shit. And literally I'll get on the train and some random ass white guy in a business suit with a tie on comes on the train and starts dancing the exact same way I was dancing. Like that. Now, after reading that, I just remembered that happened. That's why I had to pull this up. Okay, so the gang enters and exists in a place at the same time as the victim. Now, if I went to Safeway, they all follow me to Safeway. If I go to Starbucks, they all follow me to Starbucks. If I go home, they follow you home. Like, I mean, the tactics are fucked up. I mean, these people will record your private conversations, and I just want to add a disclaimer that I don't think that has happened to me. If I do recall a time where I feel like I thought they were recording, then I'll bring that up. But Oh my God. The gang films the victim in various private settings. All right, sorry, y'all. I had to plug my phone in. So let's just get back to this crazy ass story slash concept slash the truth. So gang stalkers will go as far as to follow you in vehicles. These people would sometimes follow me in, like, I wouldn't say like multiple vehicles. Sometimes it would be multiple vehicles. Sometimes it would just be one. And it's just like, you know, you're being followed when the same car has been behind you for like the past 30 minutes, or from where you went to where you got, and I noticed that a lot of the times I would be gaslighted. I found out what that word means too. Shouts out. But I would be gaslighted by, people I thought cared about me, or at least I felt like they did. I'm telling, we'll just call him Big J, somebody I used to work with in the trap house. I'm telling him, like, bro, this lady has been in the car outside our house for hours now. You're going to tell me that I'm tripping or I'm on meth? Like, how do you explain that, Jay? And then he's like, nah, you're crazy, man. There's no lady in that car. You're seeing stuff. Like, that's a shadow. That's this, like, you need to stop smoking that shit, man. Like, and so I'm in the other room and his friend is like, yo, why are you tell him that, like, the lady really has been in the car for hours though? Like, what's up with that though? Like, who is she? This is one of his other friends, because I left the room. I got like tired of being gas lit up. And so he's like he's telling Jay, like, there really has been a lady sitting in that car for like the entire night. And I hear this because the walls are real thin, and I was like sitting literally right next to the office, like, in the wall that was right in front of it, and so you could hear these things. And, and Jay isn't responding. He just is like ignoring this guy. A lot of, they had gang stalked me so hard that, like, I didn't know whether I would ever feel the same again. I didn't know whether I would ever get my privacy back. That was another thing that I felt like, really have no privacy. People all in your messages. People are in your minds. People reading your thoughts and shit. I know, like, this sounds crazy, right? But, I mean, it really happens, though. Like, I'm telling you. And there have been more instances of my personal gang stalking. Like, they talk in a way. Okay, this is just from my experience. They talk in a way that is like, it's like somebody talking about you negatively in a room while you're in the room. Does that make sense? Like, somebody, like, just imagine being like on a packed train by yourself, and everybody on the train is just talking about you and just saying shit that is like, ooh, shit, like, what? You're gonna what? Like, I almost squared up with some of these people before. I swear, on the train. It's funny because a lot of these instances for me were on the train, and a lot of them I was just at home. They go to your fucking house. But I'm on the train, and like, it's a group of white, and I was on the train. I'm about to like square up with like this white dude because he keeps on talking about me. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm irritated. I'm like, you want to fight? Like, what's up? He starts squaring up, and then they're like whispering in my ear, oh, you better not. You better not. You better not. It's 10 against 1. It's blah, blah, blah. You know, the numbers will fuck you up, though, you know, like, because at the, you know, like, what are you going to do? You know, they prey on vulnerable people. And at that time in my life, I was probably as vulnerable as I ever been, you know? So it's like these tactics are very, like, well orchestrated events. Like, literally, I would arrive to a place and they would already be there before I even get there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, hold on. Y'all was just at the train station. Now y'all at the same hospital? Whoa, okay, this is not a coincidence. This is fucking weird. All right, so, I mean, you're not alone, you know? So it's like, damn, you know, these people were talking about, we got the nurses in on it. How do I remember that part so vividly? You know, some of these motherfuckers might even be subscribed to my YouTube channel now. I don't even know. You know, but it's just like, how do you even have the nurses in on it though? How many people are truly in on it though? That's what we want to know. Fuck that. I ain't even speaking for myself no more. That's what we want to know. How many of y'all are really in on it though? You know, because for her to say the nurses were in on it, and then, you know, for me to get to the hospital, and then I call my mom and she acts like nothing happened. Like, you're not even going to ask me why I'm in the hospital? Are you psychic? You just know or some shit? Like, you know? And it's crazy. You know, she probably going to watch this video and ask me, oh, are you on drugs? Oh, my God. You know, like, no. You know, but, these people will electrically harass you like they electrically harassed me. You know, and I heard that it's some type of gang stalking program or something. Like, I don't know. You know, and there is another additional piece that I'm going to add to the end of this video, just to give y'all my overall, like, what this whole, like, the effect this whole thing had on me. Because all the effects weren't bad. You know, the torture was bad, but where I was at in life for my drug addiction, you know, that whole gang stalking thing kind of just drove me away from that, you know, because I was getting so weirded out that, like, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna move. If they're gonna stalk the shit out of me in my house, they must want me to go or something, you know. And who knows, maybe Jay was getting stalked. Maybe he was targeted, and just because I was his mans, that I was being targeted too, you know. Like, I really don't know, you know. But you know, these people will just spread lies about you. They will spread lies about you. I'm telling you. They will try to like fuck up your character. You know, they're trying to assassinate your character, bruh. That's what they're trying to do. Like, that is what I, like, realized. All right, that was the conclusion I came to. These people are trying to assassinate your character slowly to get you to either commit suicide, go to jail, or end up in the hospital. They want one out of those three things. Go to jail, suicide, or end up in a mental hospital. And I ended up in 2 out of 3 of those places, because I for damn sure wasn't going to commit suicide. But it's fucked up though. Like, man, hold on. Gabe's Galaxy. Like and subscribe. See you on the next one.